Welcome to this episode of Sweet Tea and Economy. We have Elaya Walker, pronounced like Elaya Walker, pronounced like Princess Leia, but with an E on it, right? Yes. Hardy, Elaya Walker, who is here to talk about her breakout session that she's having at the Friends in Business Expo on May 29th. And I'm so excited to have her here because she is targeting folks that are entrepreneurs, small business owners, and helping them get better at what they do. And I'm excited because I'm a small business owner as well. And even the conversations we've had before even going live have been very illuminating. So welcome, Elaya Walker.
Yes, well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you on. Do you have like a elevator pitch about yourself, or?
I'm still working on it. I am Elaya Walker. I am a certified life coach and business strategist. I help people align who they are as a person first so that they can align where they are in business if they would like to go in business, if that aligns with who they are. Some people, that's not what they want to do. They just want to live happy with their families and that be well. So I help you with that too.
I love that. We were talking about how many lives you've had, which actually with some people would make them a bit more self-conscious, but I agree with you in the fact that it actually allows you to have so many different perspectives to be able to relate to so many different types of people. Anything from nonprofits to corporate world to, you've done a little bit.
I've even delivered newspapers. So if you ever wanted to know how your newspaper got in your driveway by 6 a.m., I can let you know the process.
Were you driving, or were you on a bike, or what were you?
Yes. We definitely do it out of cars now. That was then. That was that lifetime. But yes.
Okay.
People still
high
do
school
it out
job?
of cars. No, this was after college.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Look, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, I've had so many different jobs. It's ridiculous.
So that's what I mean by I've worked from the bottom all the way up to assisting C-suite.
I love that. Okay, so with the breakout session, I don't want to give away everything that you're doing because obviously there would be no reason for someone to come to that. But the breakout session, which is free, it is at the Friends in Business Expo. Not sure what time you're going. Do you know what time you're going?
I will be at 2:30. I think I'm from 2:30 to 3:50. I'm session number 4.
Session number 4, 2:30 to 3:50. So early afternoon. You are going to be talking to people that are potentially going into business or thinking about going into business, or newbies in business that are kind of heads swimming around, frantic, and what is the takeaway that you want to give to these?
So we're going to help you root so that you don't feel like you're floating around with what am I doing and why am I doing it. We're going to help you reframe kind of your why and how to move forward, and that's where you reconnect. So those are the 3 R's we're going to go through: rooting, reframing, and reconnecting.
Obviously, you are a creative and love having the 3 R's and that kind of stuff, a program out. But what is, in everyday terminology, what does that mean?
So that means, first, even before you start your business plan, right? I think when people are like, let me go into business, let me write this business plan. First, do you understand who you are and what's going to work best for you so that when you create your business plan, it flows to who you are as a person while also putting in the aligning work to make it happen? Because when people think of alignment, they think, things are just easy now. And it's no, you're putting in the work so that you have alignment, so that you feel good about what you're doing and that it's also making you the money you want to make. And overall, you're just like, yes, this is what freedom feels like to me. This is what a free life is. Yeah.
Okay.
Whether that's in business or in your career, because sometimes the career route is where you need to go, and that's A-okay too. Sometimes your career is funding your business. Sometimes you're in a great place with your career that you have the flexibility to have your business and be in business. So there's a lot of different options there, but all of them are yours for the taking. What works for you?
Okay. And one of the words you were using before we clicked record was ecosystem, which I use that in therapy. I've used that in, ecosystem is used in biology, in the environment, and it essentially just means everything feeds into each other.
Yeah.
So ecosystem wise, you were talking about the person.
Yes. So you have your roots, which is your purpose, your values, your internal foundation, which is basically what we're going to go over in the workshop. And then you build upon that with your soil, which is your environment, where are your support groups, where are your community, what habits do you have? Then, of course, your sunlight, what fuels your growth, your inspiration, the education that you're getting. Because again, alignment isn't just chilling, it's work, and the energy sources that pour into you. Speaking of pouring, then you have your water, which is your flow, your time, your money, your tools, your rest, because you can't burn out in business. If you burn out, which a lot of that's part of why most businesses fail within their first 3 years. Burnout, lack of funds, which still goes into water, your resources, or they stop being motivated, which is the last piece, which is growth. So visible outcomes that impact your business, your goals, your success markets, and any expansion that you want to have. So that is the system that I like to talk about. I really use a lot of plant metaphors.
I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess. You're a plant parent?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay. You have a ton of plants at your house?
I have 2 different types of monsteras. I have a couple different types.
Monstera's the like big Swiss cheese looking thing?
One that's Swiss cheese and one that's not.
Okay.
I usually do fruiting plants, but this year I did blooms. So I'm doing a lot of flowers this time, which is the first time I'm doing flowers. I normally do bell peppers and stuff
inside?
you can eat. You can actually grow bell peppers inside.
Okay.
Bell peppers, basil. Yeah, I know you got your kitchen gardens. I know you've heard of the kitchen.
I've seen it, but it's like more the ones that's on the counter and you get it from like, I don't know, an ad from Instagram and it doesn't work.
Gotcha. No, you can do it with stuff that you pretty much already have in your house. Like you can use little yogurt cups as your starters for your basil or your peppermint. Yeah.
I'll try that. Okay.
Basil's an easy one to start with.
You're a person of all kinds of tricks. I need to learn more from you. Yes. So obviously as someone with your personality and also in the work that you do, you're probably doing networking a lot.
I enjoy it.
So I want to
sorry, not networking, I connect.
Connecting, networking. Yeah. I'm just using a keyword here because algorithms and stuff like that. Keyword. So for networking, I asked this question to someone yesterday that is a part of the chamber, and a lot of times that word is very scary, especially people that are introverts or shy, which aren't always the same thing. What if I am a student of yours as a business coach, life coach, and I am terrified or I have never been to a networking event to do that? How would you, like, networking 101, how would you tell me to approach it?
Well, first, we've got to just jump over the fear to just say hello to people. Because when you're going to events like this, they're coming to meet people, just like you're coming to meet people. So that being the purpose, let's just go ahead and say hello. Hi, this is my name. This is what I do. But I think it's more than just networking. It's finding the right people to talk to. So if there are breakout sessions and things like that, aligning with your interest, and you'll find other people who have those same interests, which already gives you a talking point. It gives you an in to connect. And that's where I feel like it's more than just networking, how many hands you shake. It's more about what is the impact of the hands that you are shaking? How does it affect your life or your business in an aligned or direct way that makes sense?
And traditionally, when people think of networking, they think of sales, which, again, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not a business developer. Everyone is. If you convince somebody of this is the restaurant you want to go to or what time you want to eat, you're convincing somebody, which is selling them.
Yeah, to a certain extent. Yeah.
So people think of networking is always where their next dollar is coming from. Do you believe that you should network just to get clients? What other pieces?
I think that that's something that a lot of people really focus on because, of course, you need some type of cash flow and financial flow to keep your business going and moving. But you may be surprised at where that cash flow can come from when you just network with the right people. For example, if you have a business that you're putting out products and things like that, networking with other vendors. For example, if you have a store, you can just go, hey, I'm trying to get this many people to come into my store, but you might be able to network with people who have bigger audiences, bigger brands, and by collaborating with them and putting their products in your store, then you're opening yourself up to those customers who come in. So it's not just about direct to customer. You might be looking at business to business, like how do our businesses align to where we both benefit from this? Yeah.
Okay. So like behind the scenes, so like an attorney or
attorney, accountant, vendors, a IP attorney, because
Intellectual property, yes.
Yes, because being a creative, you are your intellectual property. So having a relationship with one of those is very important. But yeah, but I think that when you go through like these ecosystem exercises, for example, you start to pick out who do I need to meet? Who makes sense for where I'm trying to go? And then put yourself in those places to meet those people, if that makes sense. Again, not just about how many hands can I shake, but what impact can I make by shaking these hands with these people? Where does it make sense?
So beyond just the quantity of the number of people,
Yes.
but the quality of
Quality, it's always
Yes.
about quality.
Qualitative and quantitative. All right, so I want to ask you some rapid fire questions just to get your hot take on a few things. One skill that every young professional should cultivate right now.
Community, having a sense of community, not just giving, but also learning how to receive it.
Love it. The future of leadership is.
The future of leadership is our youth. Please connect with them, teach them, learn from them.
That almost sounds like Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all. Yes.
Our children are the future.
Yes. I make a lot of Whitney Houston references. She's my number one diva, the voice. If you could give your younger self one piece of career advice, what would it be?
It would be that everything doesn't have to be linear. I think when I was coming up, I was thinking like, okay, at that time I was modeling. So I was like, I am my own business. I have to go to school for business. I know I want to run my own businesses. This is the way I need to go. Getting an MBA in business and then a doctorate and kind of how that goes was my original thinking. But I would tell myself to continue to explore creative opportunities as well because I am a creative person. And through that, I will gain more wisdom in how I want to navigate whatever business plans that I wanted to have. Because I was at a very young age, like I'm about to own the world so that I can live freely.
Yeah. There's the practical learning sense, like
Yes.
obviously life, PhD in life versus.
For example, there was a coworker that I met and his background is in project management. That's how we were working together. But he got a doctorate in criminal justice. He did jujitsu. And yes, he had so many other hobbies. And he was also one of the people who helped me learn, like, when you go into these higher degrees, get it in things that you're actually interested in, not just the things that make sense for your career trajectory, because it's when you're doing those things, you get really into the research, you dive into it in a deeper way. And when you do that, your brain is automatically going to connect it where you want to connect it to. So why don't you get your higher degrees in something that you really, really love?
I would dare to say knowledge is an ecosystem as well.
Yes. People are just so one-track minded when it comes to it, but no, it is a breath. It is like your brain is all of these colorful neurons and things. You've got to tickle them all.
I love it. Oh, tickle. Yes, that's a word. Let me see. What else? Rapid fire questions. Nothing that's going to get you canceled, like Beyonce or Whitney. Don't answer that. We don't need a beehive after us. Love y'all. Let me see.
I can give you one. If I could cosplay, who would I cosplay as? I don't know. That's just random.
Cosplay. Wait, are you talking about like a Comic-Con sort of stitch?
No, but I don't know. That was the random one that popped in my head.
I thought you were asking me.
MomoCon. No, who would you cosplay?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not that great of an actor.
Oh.
I can only act as me.
Do you know any characters that you feel like you could just embody, like something that you've watched and you're like, I could be that?
Oh my gosh, what's his name? Jason. I think his name is Jason Sudeikis, and the one about the soccer team.
Bend it like.
No. It's
Sorry.
the series that's in.
Oh no, I'm that sorry.
Oh my gosh, what's his name? I'll have to look it up.
Okay.
But he has the mustache and he's Southern and he's a former football coach and
I feel like you could just embody.
He's so goofy, but everybody loves him, and he just has like the most random like words of sage wisdom, and then it just happens. Yeah, I can't think of his name right now, and it's killing me. Yeah, I can't think of it.
Okay, it's okay. The reason why that question, I was like, that's a rapid fire, is because MomoCon's this weekend in Atlanta, and so that's what made me think of that.
I love that. Who would you cosplay as?
I would either be Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender or Garnet from Steven Universe, hands down. My fro is just like 3 or 4 inches short for me to go full Garnet because I love the story of the characters so much. Yeah, it's me. She is me.
I love that. If you could use one word to describe yourself, what would it be?
Multidimensional.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you cheated a little bit with a hyphen there. It's okay, but multidimensional works. You mentioned that you're a Virgo. as your sign.
Yes.
What's the most Virgo thing about you?
I think how I present myself in the world, I have this running joke that I tell me and my sister have is that she is Beyonce on the outside and Solange on the inside. And I think I am a looks like Solange on the outside and everything is love and light. But it's like once you get into the inner workings of my mind, it is Beyonce, and we have prepared 2 years for one thing to happen. Just know it was seeded ago, and all of these pieces are coming together. So, yeah, so I definitely have Beyonce mind when it comes to execution and work ethic.
Have you had your Coachella moment yet?
No, I haven't. I think I'm gearing up to it. I'm one of those people who are like, I haven't peaked yet, and I'm excited to continue to.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, once I have the global impact that I want to have, then I'll get to have my Coachella moment.
Love that. Global impact. Yes. What is one of your biggest failures and how did you grow from that?
Ooh, that failures are just lessons learned. And one in business I definitely made was counting my clients before quitting my job. And I was like, yeah, this is just enough clients that I need to do that and not necessarily making a long-term plan. And those clients run out that money and then you're like, well, what do I do now? So I am grateful for the experience. I do not regret it. Knowing what I know now, I probably would do the same thing again. But having a better long-term plan if you're going to transition, from corporate to entrepreneurship full-time, which is also why I tell people it's okay to be both. That's okay. You don't have to choose one or the other because that might actually be harder and less aligned for you.
So actually let's dive into that real quick because I literally I quit my job. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just knew I didn't want to do that. And then I came up with Zaddy Solutions and it was a harder transition and it worked for me. It worked out. I don't advocate that for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was a lot. Part skill, part luck. I'd rather be lucky any day than good. But I do believe the more harder you work, the more lucky you get, sort of situation. Just because you're putting it out there and people come and find you in those situations. Yes. But if somebody is wanting to take the more reserved route, where it's like, I'm in a corporate job, but let me see if this owning a small business or doing something on the side is worth it. That mindset shift from saying, okay, I have my steady corporate job with my steady income and benefits, and that I have this. At what point, revenue-wise or money-wise or mindset shift, anything? Is there?
I think it's a combination of those types of things, and it varies by person. For someone, having that security is non-negotiable. So then it is, okay, let me stockpile a little extra money away at a time while I'm here at this corporate business so that I have a good nest egg as I go off into this journey of entrepreneurship and maybe take a PTO day or take a day off to lean into entrepreneurship in a way that, yes, you're still getting paid for the day, but you're also exploring these aspects of yourself and growing in your business. So they're just ways to kind of balance it. So that's like a financial way. Sometimes you just know, and that's been me, but I also think I've always known my value. So when I go and I work for other people, sometimes it's like, I know who I am. If this is not working out for me, I will leave, and that is okay. I will figure it out. I have one of those mindsets of I will figure it out, which has led me into very interesting places. I've lived in my car at one point and I was still doing conferences and shows, and because that is what I wanted to do.
You just had to drive.
See, I've always, and when you enjoy what you do, the circumstances around your environment, you think about them differently. Because I was like, this is just a temporary kind of discomfort for my long-term goals, was how I was thinking about it.
Where does that come from?
For me or in general?
No, for you. I'm just curious because that.
Definitely, I think my parents. My mother was military. She's retired now.
What branch?
And Army. Okay. And my dad has worked for various security, state SWAT, corrections.
Okay.
That type. So I definitely always grew up with you can find a way to figure it out mentality, or you can be very resourceful. And I am proud to say that I am very resourceful in trying to make something out of nothing. I joke and say I don't MacGyver in public, but.
I love that. So military mother, and then you said security.
My dad's in corrections.
A strict household?
What people think it would be, and that question I get a lot, but our household wasn't strict in the ways that you would think it is, like militant, get up, make your bed, and up and out the door at a certain time. That wasn't it. I think that my mom had so much of the militant and straight leg mentality at work that when she came home, it was her reprieve. I mean, we had chores and things to do, of course, but like if I didn't make my bed, it wasn't a big deal. Somebody was coming and inspecting corporal for my bed. Like, no, I didn't grow up in that house.
I was a corporal.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you know, military, that's what you think of, like, reporting to someone, it has to be perfect. So, no, our house wasn't like that, but then grades were then very important. So there's balance. Like, all right, I'm not being strict on you in these ways, but we're going to be strict in these ways because your education is very important. So, like, going to college wasn't a question.
So not telling what you're going to do, but basically whatever you're going to do, be really good at it.
Be really good at it. And that's something that my dad instilled at me at a very young age. He's like, if you're going to be a garbage man, you're going to be the best damn garbage man there was. Or garbage woman, whatever you want to call it.
That is so supportive. That is so supportive. So your dad was probably one of your earliest mentors.
In so many ways, yes. I think both of my parents have been. My dad maybe through verbal affirmation and my mom through action. My mom is very action-based. I say I have very big shoes to fill, but I look forward to it because of her greatness. Then I have to be great in both a way that is pressuring. I'm not going to lie. There's some pressure there for sure. But also like, man, I look forward to that. Like seeing what she's been able to give me. I'm like, yes, I want to give that to the world because I'm not having kids anytime soon. So single rich auntie, I am here for the world. I'm here to help everybody else's kids.
The single rich auntie for the world.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of mentor, do you have mentors now?
No, but I'm looking for one. I mean, I have people who I look up to in business. I try to mold my own lane, not to be too meticulous into what they're doing because I don't want to ever try to copy them. I want to be authentic to myself. But I am looking for a mentor. If someone is out there and looking for still young, because apparently I learned that you're youth or young adult until your 40s. So I'm still young, moldable, but have foundations and wanting to continue to grow. Part of alignment is understanding when you need help too, and when you want help to challenge yourself. And so, yeah, I'm looking for a mentor to continue to challenge me.
Who do you mentioned like there are people you look up to. Who do you look up to?
In business, it's not necessarily business people. They're creative people who I try to see the inner workings of their business. Like, for example, Beyonce. Like, again, Worth Exit.
That's a business person.
That is, and that's what she is. She's a business person who is an amazing performer. And I think the performance side of things, she's, of course, worked on a lot. But I think a lot of the business side of things is almost innate just due to her family structure and what her parents were into. So that part just comes natural. And I think with me, the business side of things comes almost natural. And it's reminding myself to be creative in that process and let it flow and write, not having it singular lines going into individual places, but how does me having fun in this contribute to me having good business? So somebody who, I don't know if she's controversial right now or what she's going through, so just putting that out there, but somebody who came to mind was Keke Palmer, because she has her hand in so many things in her being a creative, multi-talented being. So,
you were saying single rich auntie of the world. I feel like she is the millennial auntie for the world. Like,
really?
Yes.
Yes. So it's like when she performs, she wants to perform. She sings, she acts. Like she's not afraid to lean into, or if she's afraid, she does it anyway. Leaning into those different talents of herself and then figuring out how does this align in business. Or Issa Rae is big one. That's honestly how the ecosystem exercise, how I started to apply it in other areas of my life, was Issa Rae. She not only saw her business and where she wanted to grow as an actress, director, producer, but she incorporated her friends, her community into that and was like, what is the bigger picture of what I'm trying to build here? Not saying that she had that day one, but as she moved forward, she was just like, there's something bigger than just what I'm doing. How does what I'm doing play into the bigger pieces? What parts of those bigger pieces do I want? What parts of those bigger pieces do I need to connect with other people to have?
Yeah, you and I have aligned a lot. Like there's not a single person I look at. I'm like, I want to be that exact person. I want to be me, but I pick certain aspects that are successful. I'm like, how do I make that?
You get that inspiration from other people, but you don't let that become you. You're like, okay, that's inspiration.
Honestly, I think that's unhealthy where I'm like, when somebody wants to copy and paste, I'm like, I want to be that exact person.
Yeah.
Like, it always freaks me out when somebody is like, I want to be that person so much. I want to get plastic surgery and
become them.
I don't understand that. I'm not saying I'm anti-plastic surgery. I'm saying that if you don't have such a unique perspective of yourself and value yourself.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you outside of your obsession of this person?
Be the best version of yourself.
And then by you being the best version of yourself, if these are pieces that you aspire to, like those things are going to come out of you because you're influencing yourself with that type of inspiration. But yeah, you've got to understand you first. Who are you? And I don't think a lot of people are asking themselves that question. I think they're going, what can I do? Instead of who am I first? And from who I am, what do I want to do or what aligns with my life or what just makes sense for me because I know who I am. So this makes sense. Yeah.
So with you being at the ripe old age and young age at the same time of 31, I'm 35, so I'm not making fun of you, but it's that goofy in between times. Do you think 25-year-old version of you knew who you were or have you got to know yourself better in the past 6 years?
So can I push from 25 back to 21, 22?
Sure.
Okay. Because I think that's when I realized, like, I don't think I know myself. Of course, it's after a big breakup or some type of, big thing. At that time.
We've had the best albums ever from people. Adele.
We have to have
Fleetwood
some
Mac.
type of heartbreak or some type of catalyst to your growth, right? And so for mine, it was like, I don't think I understand who I am. Let me get to know this person. And so because I like inside jokes and I will make inside jokes that only I know about, I would go on Facebook and I'd be like, man, I'm dating this person. I don't really know her that much, but I think I can get to know her. I'm going to try my best to get to know her. And it was me taking myself out on dates.
A little vague booking.
Just a little bit. Me taking myself on dates, going to places that I wanted to go. And people think it's like just the action of you doing that thing, but then it's the mindset shift behind it. By me going to this coffee shop that I've been passing every single day and sitting down and reading this book or sitting down to journal or write, I'm seeing things, I'm ideating. Things happen when you do that in your brain. And so I started that and then I'm like, okay, I think I like her. Like she's kind of cool. She's kind of fun. And in doing that, like I'm having fun with myself, even in the mirror. And I think that's important. Have fun with yourself in the mirror. Get to know that person because the more you start to like that person, the more fun you have, the more things just kind of come together. So from 21, continue to grow and evolve. And I'm like, yo, I love me. When I look in the mirror, I love this person, not just because of the way I look, but because of the way I think, because of the way I talk to myself, because I know when I put my mind to something, we gonna make it happen. And yes, I speak in third person sometimes. We gonna make it happen.
That's Issa Rae. I love those scenes from Insecure where she's like hyping herself up in the mirror. Yes.
That's a real thing. That's a real thing. And if you're not doing it, try it. I'm just saying it does wonders for your self-esteem and self-worth and just going, yeah, I have the confidence to do this. It's a mindset shift. So I bring that up to say I had just saw a video of myself at that time, like saying, I have big goals, big dreams, but I'm afraid and I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm like, if that person knew what was going to come even just a year later, like it's crazy. I have done so many things. I've spoken on podcasts. I've spoken on panels. I've modeled in multiple states. I've done events in multiple states. And I've given so much to people that have also just poured into me by doing these things. And I'm like, that person, I know she's proud. I know she's also like, who are you? Because completely different person, but I'm a lot more free in who I am. I don't restrict me in who my personality is in the way that I maybe was doing at that time, but didn't know I was doing. I think I was just like, yeah, I'm quirky. And I'm like, yo, this is me. This is all of it is me. And that's what I mean by like not sticking in that I'm quirky bubble, but I've traveled a lot. So I also take on a lot of personality. So I'm like, I'm all of it. Let's go.
So would you say that 21-year-old you would be proud of 31-year-old you?
Very much so. Very much so. Now, she would still be like, because I'm hypercritical, Virgo, there are some things that we expected by this time that still have not happened. We can give ourselves grace on some of them. Other ones, what's the plan? And I'm like, I got you, girl. I got the plan. We still working on it. It's still happening, which means we have room to grow again. So our 40s are about to be lit. We might not have been able to have a party on a private island by 30, okay? But by 40, we might be able to rent a little something, like just off the coast, nothing major. I'm not a celebrity, but,
Just a little something.
Just a little gathering of my peoples, But, I also have always had grandiose dreams. So I am a living, like, shoot for the moon and be amongst the stars because I wanted to be a millionaire by 23. Still not there yet. She might not be.
We'll get there one of these days.
One of these days, and if it's not, I'm more flexible now. So if it's not meant for me to make that amount of money, but I make enough money for me to continue to have a free life and pour into others, because I believe money is transactional. It's not something to be hoarded. It's something to flow. Then I'm happy. So
money's a resource, not a end all.
Yes, it's not a destination. And I think a lot of people, to bring it back, a lot of people go into business or start business with money as a destination and not seeing it. This is just a resource to do X, Y, and Z. Not this is the goal. It doesn't work out that way. Just realistically, you can pretty much ask anybody who's been a regular entrepreneur, not like I've inherited so much money and I can delegate things to make things happen, but actually someone who has started it, being the solopreneur or just a partner. It's work and it takes that resource, and no, it didn't work out as that dollar amount was just the goal and it just happened.
Yeah, I think of, with money being a resource to allow you to have collections of experiences and things you've done. Like travel takes money. Doing certain things in life to level yourself up takes money. Yeah. But it's not, I have $1 million. That is my prize. Like, cool, that helps. And I'm just using million as a roundabout number. Yeah. But having that to say, I have the capital or I have the cushion in order to either take this risk or go do
this experience. Yes. And even if it's not an experience for you, if it's an experience for others, like even the expo itself, I'm sure it takes money to make it happen. That's a guarantee. But you're doing it with the goal of helping others learn in business. And capital isn't always, yes, I'm sure you guys are going to get a return, but capital isn't always financial. Sometimes it's human capital. Sometimes it's social capital. And sometimes that can get you in places that money would not have been able to get you. You never know.
I love that. That's a fabulous, fabulous way to end this segment. As we wrap up, is there anything that I haven't asked you that you want to let our followers know about you or anything like that?
Well, I just launched a journal, Thrive Within. It's a 3-month self-discovery journal. So if you are really ready to do the work on yourself, I would definitely suggest that. You can find it at elayawalker.com. It's just me, my name, which is also where you can find me on socials, ELAYAWALKER, Elaya Walker.
We'll put that in the description as well so people can find you.
Okay.
And just to remind everybody, she will be doing a free breakout session on May 29th at, you said 2:30?
2:30. I'm session number 4.
Session number 4.
Lucky number 4.
Session number 4 at 2:30 at the VAPA Center on May 29th.
Yes, I hope to see you there.
So register for that and you get to chat with Miss Elaya Walker in person.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye, guys.
That was fabulous.